Alright, this is how to play King of Tokyo on Board Game Arena. This is a Yahtzee style battle game where we are all monsters trying to stay in Tokyo but fight each other off. And there are lots of special power cards and different ways to push your luck. It's a pretty fun game that works well with lots of people. So this is set up to where everyone gets to pick their monster, and these are all just cosmetic, so you can pick whichever monster you want. They all are the same. There's no differences between them. So we're playing a 4-player game. Everyone starts out with 10 health and 0 stars. The first person to either get 20 stars, or if they're the last person alive, they win. And so each person will pick their monster in game order. I ended up picking the Alienoid. And then this is the basic layout. So in the middle here we have Tokyo, and we don't have 5 or 6 players, so we're only going to use Tokyo City here with 4 players. Each of us has our monster. I'm Alienoid. There's also Boogie Woogie, Mecha Dragon, X Smash Tree. There are some power cards that are available in the middle, and then there are dice that each person will roll. Now, the first person to roll gets just whatever's on the dice, and then gets to enter Tokyo. But then if you're in Tokyo, your turns are a little different, and the way that damage is dealt and the way that points are gathered is different if you're in Tokyo versus if you're outside of Tokyo. So this first player will roll the dice, and you'll have the dice here, and there are 6 different sides on each die, obviously. There's a 1, a 2, a 3, a heart is lightning, which is energy, and a claw, which is damage to other players. You'll roll the dice, and then in BGA, you'll select the ones that you want to keep, and then roll again, and then you select the ones you want to keep, and then roll again. And then when you're done, you can roll up to 2 more rerolls, and then you resolve the dice, and whatever it gets you is what you get. So the meanings of the dice are: the hearts heal you. You have 10 hearts now. You can only go up to 10, though there are some cards that give you extra power, but those heal you up if you're not in Tokyo. The lightning or the energy give you little energy cubes that you can use to buy the cards. And then the numbers, if you get 3 of the same number, you get that many points, the stars. And remember, they're trying to get up to 20. And if you get 3 ones, you get 1 point, 3 twos, 2 points, 3 threes, 3 points. Every extra number that matches beyond that gets you an extra point. So 3 threes is 3 points, 4 threes is 4 points, 5 threes is 5 points. Same with ones, you get ones, 4 ones is 2, 5 ones is 3. And then the claw will attack other people. If you are not in Tokyo, it will attack whoever's currently in Tokyo. If you are in Tokyo, it'll do that much damage to all other players. So this first player is choosing to keep some energy. There's the claw. And they want to keep the 3s there because they want to try to get three of a kind there. And they get 1 more roll. Or no, that was all the roll they get. So they didn't get 3 of a kind for the numbers, so they don't get any points for that. But they do get to go into Tokyo. Now, as soon as you go into Tokyo, you get a point. You get a point for just entering Tokyo. If your turn comes around again and you're still in Tokyo, you get 2 points. Now, how do you leave Tokyo? Anytime that you're attacked by another player, you have the option to leave Tokyo. And when you do that, the other player enters Tokyo and gets that point. So the next person goes. They keep. Okay, they were trying to get 3 threes there, but they got some energy, and they're going to buy some dice. Or they can buy some cards with that. They didn't. You always have an option of buying a card at the end of your turn. The cost of the cards is at the top left here, or you can refresh the cards, get rid of all 3 of them for 2 energy, and then see what the next ones are. That's the basics of it. Let's skip ahead and see a couple of scenarios in there and see kind of how this plays out. So this was an interesting case. This was my roll. I got 3 ones, I saved them, and a claw, and I ended up getting 2 more ones. So this is great. This means 3 points, and again, you're trying to get to 20, so every point is pretty important. So I tried to resolve the dice. However, this person just bought this card here that you can basically lets you re-roll someone else's die after the last roll. And if they roll a heart, then they get rid of this card. So they can keep doing this until they use it and roll a heart. So I go here and I resolve the die, but then that person rolls one of mine, and so I only get 2 points instead of 3. But I do a damage to the person in Tokyo, and then they can choose to stay or leave. They decide to stay. Again, they've got 10 points, the health points that only took them down 1. Not a big deal. All right, here's another my turn. I have rolled and I got some hearts, so this is going to heal me back up to 10. Notice I'm getting three hearts, but I only can get to 2 to back to 10. It won't let me go past 10. So I resolve that. I get to 10, get 2 energy, and I attack for 1 on the monster. They decide to leave, so that means I enter. I get a point for entering, and then all attacks now come to me. So that's the danger. Oh, also, one very important thing. When you are in Tokyo, you cannot heal. So it's dangerous to be in Tokyo because all the attacks are coming to you and you cannot heal. So if you're not careful, you lose a lot of health. So sometimes it's really good to it's nice to be able to get a whole turn through, but you got to watch your health when you're in Tokyo. So you'll see there are players who are playing. This player hit me for 2, but I was at full health, so I said, I'm going to keep going. So I stayed in Tokyo. This person didn't actually end up hitting me at all, so perfect. I can stay. And I've stayed through 2 of them. I might as well stay through the 3rd one. They're going to hit me. Oh, they didn't even try to hit me. They rerolled the claw one, so even better. Now I start my turn in Tokyo. And I get 2 extra points for starting my turn in Tokyo. Notice here that heart, it shows the little X there. That means because I'm in Tokyo, I cannot heal. But any claw that I do does damage to every single other player. So there I got 3 energy, 2 hits, and a 1. This is actually pretty good. So that means I hit everybody for 2. I get 3 energy. I use those 3 energy and I actually buy this one. I know this card. This is really nice. Basically, it says if you are in Tokyo and somebody damages you, if you leave instead of staying, you don't take the hits. You would take the hits typically anyway, but this card lets you just not. So if somebody hits you really hard for like 3 or 4, you can say, okay, I'm out, leave Tokyo, and you don't take the damage. I end up using that, and it ends up being really, really helpful. So you can see I get those energy, hit everybody, I buy that card, and that's pretty helpful at the end for the rest of the game. In fact, here is a great example of me using this card. So I'm still in Tokyo. This person's getting 4 hits, and I only have 8 health. So instead of taking those 4 hits, I leave Tokyo. See, if I stayed, I would lose the 4, but if I leave, I don't take it. That means they get to go in and they get the points, but that's better than me losing half my health. Now this player got this really interesting card where if you score 3 ones, you take another turn with 1 less die. And they actually did that 3 times in a row with this card, and it gave them all kinds of energy, which let them buy a bunch of interesting cards too. And you'll see in a second here. So see, they got the extra ones there, and they got to go again because of that card with 1 less die. I think they even did it a third time. Yeah, look at that. So they got to go 4 times in a row because of that card. So there's lots of crazy cards in here that give you interesting variation in the games. All right, one more interesting thing. So this player got, because of that, all those rerolls and just got so much energy and was able to buy different cards. They ended up buying a card when this player was down to 2 hearts or 3 hearts that dropped every other player 3 hearts, and he just killed him, and so he was out of the game. So this game does have player elimination, but it's a quick run, and so but you have to watch that health or something can happen and you just lose your health. In fact, you can see here Boogie Woogie over here is at 2 health. Jarvis is uh, getting some more energy. He seems to just have all the energies he needs. Now he can buy a card, but instead he refreshes, and look what he finds. All other monsters lose 2 hearts. He buys that and then kills this other player. And so it's just me and him and them going to the end of the game. Fortunately, I had built up enough hearts that I was able to outlast all of the damage that he did. Alright, this is towards the end of the game. You can see I have 17 points, and we're just going back and forth, and I've been able to stay in Tokyo the whole time and get 2 points every time it comes back to me, which has been great. And I also have this kind of get out of jail free. If he gets a big hit on me, I can just leave and not take any of that damage. So I'm in a pretty good position. In fact, he doesn't even really damage me that time. I was looking, I had enough to buy this +5 hearts -4. However, if you end your turn at 0 health, you do not win. You're still out. So I couldn't quite do it because I only had 4 health. And again, you can't heal when you're in Tokyo. So that 5 would have gotten me over the 20 that I needed, but I couldn't buy it without dying. So I just kept staying. That gave me 2 more. That was at 19. That means I just needed 1 more point. I saw I had 2 ones there. I kept those 2 ones. There's another one. And I got 20 and won the game. That was it. So yeah, it's pretty light game. It's just a lot about watching your health, looking at these special cards, pushing your luck, whether you stay in Tokyo or leave, and trying to get to 20. All right, hope this helps.